This segment is brought to you by domain.com.
I'm going to go ahead and connect my own device now. And as soon as I do, I'm going to have to shut this down because there's a lot of noise already. So on my phone, just going to turn on Wi-Fi. And as soon as I do, it looks for networks that it remembers, it finds Pineapple, and it connects. OK. Who's sending the deauthentication packets? Oh, that's making things fun. OK, let me see if I can come up here and find this now. All right. Well, I can easily do that by changing back to only looking at my client. Let me find the MAC address of that. Here we go. I'm going to update my filter to only look at packets coming from or going to, or frames coming from or going to my interface. That's interesting. Might have to do that again. 1 second. CA. Oh, no wonder I'm using the wrong one. 000B. Hooray for MAC addresses. BA. BA. 6A. CA. OK, I'll do it in a different way. I'll do it from this client. All right, so once again, we're only looking for packets to or from my wireless card right here. And I'm going to go ahead and scan for nearby networks. And I found a bunch. And if I come over here, I see my probe requests and those responses. So that's fantastic. I'm going to stop that, create a new one, and continue without saving. So now that I've seen that, I'm going to say, hey, wireless card, I want you to join the Pineapple network, because that'll be fun. So IW config WLAN2 channel 11. Is that what I said it was? Yeah, 11. And then I need to set it to mode managed. And then I will go ahead and connect to it with an IW config WLAN2 ESSID Pineapple. And if I do IW config WLAN2 now, I'll see that I am in managed mode, and I'm connected to this access point. I'm associated. So if we come back over here, you'll see quite a bit happened. So let me stop that. First of all, remember I sent out that probe request saying, hey, is Pineapple around? And I got a probe response saying, yeah, I'm here. And so we did it again, because why not? Actually, a lot of these protocols are like super chatty. And then so the next thing that's going to happen is I see an authentication packet that comes through. And basically, this is my card saying, hey, can I join your network? And then the Pineapple said, yeah, sure, that sounds like fun. And then we associate, and we become best friends forever. And so if I keep this going, basically, I'm going to see all of the traffic that's going through this network because I'm sniffing on it and whatnot. And so that is going on here when a client decides to get involved with an access point. There's a probe request saying, hey, are you around? A probe response that says, yeah, I'm here. And then there's, remember the control frame, an ACK. It says an acknowledgement, yeah, cool, I got that. All right, authentication, let's do it. And then it says, well, it sends an ACK and says, yeah, all right, I got that you want to authenticate with me now. authenticate. And then it says, ACK, yeah, I got that. We're authenticated now. Let me send an association request. And then what do you think? An ACK, of course. And then an association response. And then there's an ACK. And then finally, there's data, unless we do some deauthentication. And like I said, a deauthentication is really a polite way for a client to disconnect from a network. It allows both parties to go ahead and reallocate memory that they may have reserved for that connection, and it may be a hacker's best friend. So let's deauthenticate my phone. That'll be fun. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have to reset my. Yeah, good. Stops that. All right. So I'm turning my Wi-Fi on. And immediately it sends out a probe. It says, hey, is Pineapple around? Pineapple's here. And it says, yeah, it's me. What do you want? You want to hang out? And so they're hanging out. And you can see that. I don't know if you can see that far back. But that's that Scion bit where it says connected to Pineapple. All right. And so what's going to happen here is I'm going to use another cool tool. I'm going to bring up my interface again in monitor mode. Airmon ng start WLAN 2. And I'm going to set it to channel 11. And now I'm going to go ahead and do an AirPlay. I'm going to use AirPlay to send on a deauthentication packet, which I have right down here in my list. So let's go ahead and analyze this command. What I'm saying here is AirPlay NG, another awesome part of the AirCrack suite with attack 0, which is saying, hey, I want to use a deauthentication frame. And then the number after that, the 10, that's just how many deauthentication frames I want to send. The attack A is the access point that we are impersonating to do this attack. And attack C is the client we're going to be disconnecting. And then mon 0 being the interface again. So you notice I've got that there. And I'm going to go ahead and here, let's change that 10 to like 99. Why not? And so now you can see I'm sending deauth frames, and suddenly it's not cyan anymore, is it? And my phone can't connect back until I stop this. Hang on, let me stop it. Give it just a second. And I'm connected again. Look how wonderful that was. So I bring that up because and there should be another network. I need another network in the area to be able to demo this. I'm going to connect to Noisebridge, and I hope I don't regret that. All right, so now I'm connected to Noisebridge, right? And so what I'm going to do here, and where am I? Let me remove that file. OK, is I'm going to use an awesome tool to hella deauth my phone, right? And so we're going to be using a suite.
If you're setting up a website or starting a new business, showcasing your portfolio, or publishing your blog, domain.com is the best place to go for your next great idea. If you need to register a new domain, consider getting a .com. A .com name is the original. We all know it's the best. It's globally understood and immediately gives credibility to your website no matter what name you choose. Plus, if you want to invest in and sell domains, .coms have the highest aftermarket value. Find new domains at domain.com. Shannon and I love domain.com because they're affordable, reliable, and easy to use. Plus, domain.com's social networking presence is huge on Twitter at domain.com. They've got great customer support, and that makes it really a fun place to do business. So get this, the guys over at domain.com want to hook up our fans with an awesome offer. Get 15% off their already affordable domain names and web hosting when you use the coupon code HAK5 at domain.com checkout. That's 15% off and big savings. Don't forget to use the coupon code HAK5 when you think domain names. Think domain.com.
And so we're going to be using a suite script called does that say dump? It means airdrop. I'm going to be using, oh, sorry, the first one is AirDump. It uses AirDump. I'm going to be using this cool tool called AirDropNG to allow me to do something very similar to what I just did before, except without having to specify every single time I want to connect that phone from that access point. It's pretty cool because you can use these rule lists to write, hey, here's what I want to, just like in IP tables or any other kind of firewall, what's going to be allowed and what's going to be denied. So I've already created one of those files. And if I cat drop rules, you'll see that oh, man. You'll see that a slash, and then the MAC address is the MAC address of what I'm going to allow any, as in any client, to connect to. It just so happens to be the MAC address of my Pineapple. And then the next thing says D, any. You can only imagine what that's going to do. So if I start this up in two phases, I first of all want to go ahead and become root. And once I'm root, I want to start up, whoops. I want to make sure I'm in my directory. OK, and I'm going to start up AirDumpNG just like before. And this time I'm going to use output format. And we want to save it as a CSV file. It's a comma delimited text file. And then we're going to write that file as dump.csv. OK. And we're going to use mon0 to do that. So now this is just dumping all of the information it sees about all of the access points and all of the connected clients to this Excel spreadsheet, essentially, is what it is. Except, yeah, you get what I'm saying. And now I'm going to use AirDropNG on my interface mon0 with this particular dump file, the one that I just created, and it's still being written to. And then I'm going to use a rule file, so tac-r, and then drop rules, that file that I just catted up there. So now when I execute this, and mind you, you're going to see a lot of errors, but let's take a look at what happens on my phone. Okay, I'm connected to Noisebridge. It's in blue. And as soon as I run this, and don't mind the errors, it's just because of some dependencies in Lorcon, and this is supposed to look this nasty, you're supposed to specify an interface with, you're missing either tac. Did I not hit tac-r?
Dash T.
Huh? That's an R.
T before the CSV?
Oh, thanks, guys. Call me out next time. OK, try that again. And oh, it was on Noisebridge. What's going on here? No, I'm on. I'm off. I'm off. I'm on. Oh, I'm off. And so what's going to happen here is eventually, and this is different depending on the vendor, it's just going to go ahead and connect to the next one in its remembered list. In my case, it's going to be Pineapple. My phone's going to be a bit picky about this, but eventually this is going to connect to Pineapple because it's going to say, well, obviously, Noisebridge wants to have nothing to do with you. It's saying talk to the hand. So I'm going to go ahead and stop that. And I'm very sorry that it just kicked everybody off of whatever network they were on before. But it did say there was a disclaimer. OK, so that was the hella deauth. And we deauthed my phone. And so then there's data frames. Remember, we're still talking about management frames and control frames. These are the data frames. What else would you expect to be on the internet? That's my cat. And this is just whatever your payload may be. It's if you're going to happypuppy.com or example.org. And all of this happens, and as you saw on my phone, it all happens so seamlessly to the user and so beautifully for convenience because, dude, who wants to type all the stuff that I just had to do just to make a connection? No, so the vendors are awesome in that, these computers, which are supposed to be like toasters now, and you press a button and it happens, they just do the thing. Because we don't want to think about having to, do anything scary. This is the same kind of convenience that brought us, I don't know, autorun.inf on a CD-ROM drive, so it would automatically execute any exe files on an optical disk. What could go wrong? Until there's USB drives that can emulate CDFS partitions, and yeah, we did that in 2006. So here's the state of the industry we're in right now. This is my Android phone, and I connected to a network that's called I Got Hacksword. And if I long press on it, I get the option. If I long press, I can choose to forget the network, because the default is to remember it. The default is to probe for it. The default is just to connect back to it whenever we see it. And it's the same thing with the iPhone. Look at this one, Marriott Hotel. I'm not the Marriott Hotel, or am I? See, what happens is, unless the user remembers to hit forget, if they remember to hit the forget thing, then they'll forget the network and they won't remember to probe for it. Got it? All right, cool. Well, the problem with that is, if you're not in the vicinity of the network that you remembered, you can't forget it. So if you go to Pete's and you're like, crap, forgot to forget Pete's, and then you go to like some place that doesn't have Pete's, and then it's Pineapple running, well, we'll get to that later, but you might connect to Pete's inadvertently, and it's not Pete's. All right. So this is a bit where we talk about how's your karma. Who wants to take a quick break, though? Because now it gets really crazy and scary. So I've talked about the white hat side. This is the way that the frames and the protocols and the whole shebang actually works, and why it works, and where the inherent trusts are. Now we're going to abuse the out of it with some karma. But it seems like a good time to take a break, right? All right.
Well, that just about wraps up this episode of Hak5. Be sure to tune in next week as we wrap up the Wi-Fi workshop series with even more nitty-gritties on the protocol and demos. We hope you guys are enjoying this, so be sure to hit us up, feedback@hack5.org. Let us know what you like to see on future shows, and stay tuned for awesome stuff coming from Hak5 very soon as we wrap up Season 11 and go into the epicness that will be 12. Stay tuned, and we will see you guys next week.